Hi everyone, I'm Doctor. My name is ZHONG, matrix number 2788016. Our video will be presented about the application of integration in economy. Now, I will begin with the introduction part. What is integration? In calculus, an integral assigns number to function to describe displacement, area, volume, and other concepts that arise by combining infinitesimal data. The process of finding integral is called integration. People involved in the development of this field of study have Isaac Newton, Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, and Archimedes of Syracuse. For the history development of economy, Adam Smith used the idea of French writer to create a paper on how the economy should work. At the same time, Columbus and Thomas Malthus expand their work focusing on how security promotes economic development. The economic theory of John Maynard Keynes is still used today by the Federal Reserve to manage monetary policy. Now, let us talk about how economic related to calculus. We can use calculus to determine the maximum profit by providing an easy way to calculate marginal cost and marginal revenue. For economic, analyze the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and service. It also requires the use of mathematics to analyze and synthesize complex information. Integration is important to economy because we can calculate the total cost function and total revenue function from the marginal cost. Other than that, the consumer surplus and producer surplus from the demand and supply function also can be determined by using integration. Now, I will talk about the key concept that include in this video presentation. The key concept in this video is the marginal and total revenue cost and profit. Cx is the cost function. It's the cost of producing Q unit of a certain product. Then, the marginal cost is the rate of change of C with respect to the quantity Q. In other words, the marginal cost function is the derivative C prime x of the cost function. Cx is the variable cost plus the fixed cost, and the fixed cost also is the C0. If Q units are sold and the price per unit is P, then the total revenue is Rx equals P times Q. R is called the revenue function. The derivative R prime x is called the marginal revenue function. It's the rate of change of revenue with respect to the number of units sold Q. Bx, which is the total profit, is the difference between the revenue received from the sales and the cost of all inputs. If Q units are sold, then the total profit is Bx equals Rx minus Cx, and Bx is called the total profit function. The marginal profit P prime x is the profit gained when one additional marginal unit is produced and sold. If the marginal profit function is given, the total profit can be obtained by integrating the marginal profit function.
Hi, my name is AINA FARISHA BINTI NASRI. My metric number is 280368. Now, I will proceed with the method. There is three methods that we can find, such as normal integral, integral by substitution, and integration by parts. Normal integral. This method are used when they have any constant or variable. We also can determine the function of total revenue from the marginal revenue. Is also to obtain the function of total cost from the function of marginal cost. Integration by substitutions we use to obtain total profit from marginal profit function. For integration by parts, we use to obtain total profit from marginal profit function.
Okay, now I will be in charge of explaining the example 1. The marginal cost and demand function of a product are given as C prime x equals 30x and x equals 200 minus 0.2p, where x is the function is the number of items produced and sold per week, and p is the price per unit of item. The fixed cost is Rm2000. Question A. We will find the profit function, which is Px. Px is Rx minus Cx. We have some information. C prime x equals 30x and the function x equals 200 minus 0.2. We then rearrange into p in terms of x. So by using the formula Px equals Rx minus Cx, to find revenue, we use formula Px times with x and minus the Cx, which is we integrate the marginal cost function given. After integration, we add the fixed cost into the cost function and we get the profit function. Question B. Determine the profit made or the loss of time when 60 units of items are produced and sold. The question B is asked us to determine either we get profit or not. So we substitute 60 units, which means x equals 60 to the profit function we found above. Then the answer is negative 14,000, which means that the loss factor is Rm 14,000 when 60 units of items are produced and sold. Now we come on to question C. find the level of production which will maximize weekly profit. Now we want to find the level of production where profit is maximum. So we need to use step of maximum profit. We already have profit function. Now we differentiate the profit function. Then we let Px equals to 0. Then we get x equals to 25. Then we check either the maximum profit exists or not. We differentiate again, then get P double prime x and is negative for P, which is less than 0. So maximum profit exists. Then we conclude 25 units of level production will maximize weekly profit. Last question. Find the total cost, total revenue, and the price per unit when profit is maximum. From the question C, we know that when profit maximum, the x is 25. We use the previous calculation that find the total cost. We know that the total cost is 15x squared plus 20,000. Then substitute x equals 25. Then we get the answer total cost is Rm 11,375. Then we find the total revenue. Same things. We get the formula from the previous question, and Rx is 1000x minus 5x squared. Substitute with x equals 25 and we get the total revenue. At last, we find the price per unit P. We substitute x equals 25 in the previous formula, and last we get Rm to 875.
Example 2. The marginal cost function of x unit of product is given by C prime x equal to 0.3 x squared minus 120. A. Find the total cost function given that the fixed cost incurred by the production is Rm 5000. For A, we will find the total cost function with integrate the marginal cost function, which is integrate 0.3 x squared minus 120 dx, and we will get 0.1 x power of 3 minus 120 x plus c. So fixed cost is equal to Rm 500, which is c in bracket 0. We plug in 0 in the total cost function to get the c. So c we will get equal to 5000. So the total cost function is 0.1 x power of 3 minus 120x plus 5000. B. Find the total cost at the production level of 25. To find the total cost at level 25, we just plug in 25 into the total cost that we get at the A. So 0.1 in bracket 25 power of 3 minus 120 in bracket 25 plus 5000 is equal to 3562.50. So the total cost at the production level of 25 is Rm 3562.5. C. Find the production level when the cost of production is minimized and the minimum cost. The marginal cost is 0.3 x power of 2 minus 120. Marginal cost is equal to 0. So 1.3 x power of 2 minus 120 is equal to 0. X will get plus minus 20. We differentiate the marginal cost and we will get 0.6x. We plug in 20 into the x and we will get 12. 12 is bigger than 0, so means minimum cost exists. Then the total marginal cost is 0.1 x power of 3 minus 120x plus 5000. We plug in 20 into the x and we will get 3400. So that means the production level is 20 units when the cost is minimized and the minimum cost is Rm 3400. For the conclusion, what we can get from beginning of the discussion is we would know what is integration. We also get to know people who involved in the development of this field of study, which is Isaac Newton, Gottfried Wilhelm, and Leibniz. Then we also know how economics related to calculus and why integration important in economics. Based on the key concept, integration are widely used in our industry, especially economics. From integration, total profit can be found by integrating the marginal function. Integration also involves in finding the marginal and total revenue. Then, a few methods in integration can be used to solve the calculation in economics, such as normal integration, integration by substitution, and integration by parts.